As the evening sun casts a warm glow when Jungkook exits the supermarket, his arms laden with grocery bag. This particular routine, an evening shopping excursion, has become one of the shared habits Jungkook has developed in the time he spends at Yoongi's apartment, when his friend is heading home from work. It's a simple yet comforting routine, a break from the chaos of his life. As Jungkook approaches the exit, his attention is drawn to a sleek black car parked near the curb. His steps slow, curiosity mingling with a sudden sense of apprehension. The evening, once serene, now feels charged with an unexpected tension. Jungkook tightens his grip on the grocery paper bag in his hands, scanning the surroundings for any sign of what might be unfolding. His eyes settle on Mrs. Kim, standing beside the car, flanked by a guard. A sense of foreboding falls on Jungkook. Their presence here, in this ordinary supermarket parking lot, feels like an intrusion into the small sanctuary he has found in the routine of his new shared life with Yoongi. Jungkook takes a deep breath, steadying himself as he nears the car. The groceries suddenly feel heavier in his arms, a tangible weight mirroring the unease in the air. Mrs. Kim's gaze meets his, and there's a calculated calmness in her demeanor, but Jungkook can sense the storm brewing beneath the surface. As he approaches, Mrs. Kim steps forward, her attitude composed but authoritative. "Get in the car." Jungkook, not one to be easily swayed, raises an eyebrow, his guard up. "Why would I do that?" Mrs. Kim is maintaining her calm exterior. "We need to talk, Jungkook. It's in your best interest." Jungkook, however, is not convinced. "My best interest is being not interested in whatever games you and your husband are playing. I have nothing to say to you." The boy is already taking a step sideways to step around the car when the guard almost twice his size suddenly blocks his path. It's a simple conversation. "Get in the car." Jungkook, undeterred, shakes his head and puts on a fake smile. "Thanks, but I'll pass." Mrs. Kim's expression tightens, a subtle frustration creeping in. "Jungkook, don't be difficult. This concerns you and, indirectly, Taehyung." Jungkook squares his shoulders, determined to maintain his boundaries. "Whatever concerns you have can be voiced right here. I'm not getting in that car." The woman's guard takes another step towards him with a hint, and Jungkook flinches, immediately taking a step back. He meets woman's gaze with a steely resolve. "I don't know what game you're playing, but I'm not getting into that car," Jungkook declares, his voice unwavering. Mrs. Kim's facet of composure starts to crack, frustration evident in her eyes. "Jungkook, this isn't the time for your stubbornness. We need to discuss something important." Jungkook arches an eyebrow, skepticism etched on his face. "Discuss? Like you've ever discussed things honestly before?" "No, thanks. If you have something to say it right here." The guard, sensing the tension, takes another step to him. Jungkook, however, refuses to be intimidated. "I don't care if you brought 100 guards. I'm not going anywhere with you." Mrs. Kim exhales, attempting to regain control. "Jungkook, this involves Taehyung. You don't want to make things more difficult than they already are." A flicker of concern crosses Jungkook's features, but he remains steadfast. "Oh, really? Is he okay?" "Oh, wait. I don't care. If it involves Taehyung, you can say it right here. I won't let you manipulate me into your schemes." The guard, growing visibly impatient with Jungkook's defiance, decides to take matters into his own hands. In a swift, forceful motion, he moves closer to Jungkook, attempting to grab his arm and guide him toward the waiting car. Jungkook, caught off guard by the sudden aggression, instinctively pulls away, his eyes flashing with a mixture of anger and fear. "Get your hands off me!" The woman raises her hand to signal the guard to exercise restraint. "Jungkook, please. This doesn't have to get physical. We just need you to come with us to talk." Jungkook, however, stands firm, resisting the guard's attempts to coerce him. "I've told you, I'm not going anywhere with you. If you have something to say it right here." The struggle between Jungkook and the guard intensifies, drawing the attention of onlookers in the quiet supermarket parking lot. Jungkook, determined to avoid being forced into the car, uses every ounce of strength to maintain his ground. Mrs. Kim, frustrated by the escalating situation, raises her voice. "Jungkook, be reasonable. This is for your sake." Jungkook, his eyes narrowed in defiance, retorts. "Your version of reasonable involves forcing people into cars against their will?" "I don't think so." Amidst the escalating tension, a sudden voice cuts through the turmoil. "Is there a problem here?" The unexpected interjection draws the attention of both Jungkook and Mrs. Kim. A middle-aged security guard from the supermarket stands nearby, his expression stern as he assesses the unfolding situation. Mrs. Kim, attempting to maintain composure, responds, shaking her head. "No, there's no problem. We are just having a private conversation." The security guard, unconvinced, gestures toward the struggling Jungkook and the imposing figure attempting to force him into the car. "Doesn't look like a private conversation to me. Sir, do you need help?" Jungkook seizes the opportunity, nodding emphatically. "Yes, please. I'm being forced into that car against my will." The security guard, guided by a sense of duty, steps forward, addressing Mrs. Kim and her guard. "I can't allow any forceful actions in this area. If it's a private matter, you'll have to resolve it without coercion." Mrs. Kim, now realizing the potential repercussions of the unfolding scene, adjusts her approach. "We are just trying to talk, but he's being difficult." "Everything's okay," the security guard, firm in his stance, replies. "Talking is one thing, but it doesn't seem like he's willing. Release him, and you can talk somewhere else without any trouble." The guard, recognizing the authority of the security personnel, reluctantly steps back, releasing his hold on Jungkook. The boy, now free from the physical coercion, takes a step away, his eyes still locked with defiance on Mrs. Kim. The security guard directs his attention to Jungkook. "Do you want to file a complaint or involve the police?" Jungkook, taking a breath, shakes his head. "No, I just want them to leave me alone. I can handle myself." Mrs. Kim, realizing the situation has shifted beyond her control, nods. "Fine, we'll leave. But this isn't over, Jungkook. We need to talk." Jungkook, undeterred, watches as Mrs. Kim and her guard retreat to the waiting car. The security guard keeps a vigilant eye on their departure, ensuring there's no further attempts at coercion. As the tension begins to dissipate, Jungkook, still visibly shaken, nods in gratitude to the security guard. "Thanks for stepping in, sir. I appreciate it." The security guard nods in acknowledgement, offering a reassuring smile. "Just doing my job. If you need any further assistance, don't hesitate to ask." As Jungkook weaves through the supermarket parking lot, watching Mrs. Kim's car disappear into the distance, he takes a deep breath, attempting to shake off the lingering tension. The cool night air offers a momentary reprieve, and with a resigned sigh, he decides it's finally time to head to Yoongi's place. Navigating the quiet streets on foot, Jungkook keeps a vigilant eye on his surroundings. The encounter with Mrs. Kim and her guard has left him on edge, and he can't shake the feeling that the night still holds surprises. As he nears the apartment building, however, a sudden turn of events sends a chill down Jungkook's spine. Black car, the same one he thought had left the area, comes to an abrupt stop on the side of the road just ahead. Jungkook freezes, his senses heightened as he instinctively assesses the situation. But before he can react, the guard emerges from the vehicle and moves swiftly toward him. Panic sets in as the guard grabs the boy by the shoulders, forcefully pushing him into the car. Jungkook, caught off guard once again, struggles against the unexpected assault. "Let go of me. What the hell are you doing?" The guard remains stoic, his grip unyielding as he pushes Jungkook into the back seat of the car. Mrs. Kim, seated in by his left, wears a cold, determined expression, confirming that this confrontation is far from over. As the car door slams shut, Jungkook finds himself confined once more, the earlier sense of autonomy shattered. The vehicle starts moving again, and he hears the doors lock, the journey ahead uncertain, and Jungkook braces himself for whatever awaits at the end of this unexpected detour. Inside the confined space of the car, Jungkook feels a surge of frustration and fear. He shoots a sharp look at the woman, demanding an explanation. "What the hell is this? You can't just grab me off the street like this." Mrs. Kim, maintaining her icy composure, responds with calculated calmness. "Jungkook, we need to talk. This is for your own good. You're not making this easy." Jungkook scoffs, a bitter laugh escaping him. "Talking doesn't involve manhandling someone into a car. What do you want from me?" The guard, unmoved by Jungkook's protest, remains vigilant, ensuring he stays confined to the back seat. The car continues its journey, veering into the shadows of the night. Mrs. Kim, her tone unwavering, explains. "We need your cooperation. There are things you need to understand about your involvement with Taehyung and its outcomes." Jungkook, despite his frustration, refuses to be intimidated. "I don't owe you shit, and I certainly won't be bullied into some twisted version of your idea of cooperation." As the car advances through the dimly lit streets, Jungkook contemplates his options. The sudden turn of events has left him feeling vulnerable and trapped, but he remains determined to assert his autonomy. The tension in the car thickens, the silence broken only by the hum of the engine and the muffled sounds of the night outside. Jungkook, his mind racing, prepares for whatever unsettling truths or manipulative tactics Mrs. Kim may employ in the name of their supposed talk. As the car continues its journey through the darkened streets, Jungkook keeps a vigilant eye on his surroundings, plotting his next move. The air inside the car is thick with tension, and Mrs. Kim's cold determination only adds to the stifling atmosphere.